So, hi Libra, my name is Chris, and this is your reading, kind of for whenever you find it. There's already a February 2026 reading out. Check that out if you like, but this is whenever you find it. Queen of Swords. Let's not do the Celtic cross, let's just do something else. Queen of Swords, Page of Pentacles, Five of Swords. You're freeing yourself from conflict. You don't want to engage anymore in this old, stupid conflict, right? It's kind of forced upon us when you look into the world right now. It's just everywhere. But the thing is not to participate in the drama, not to participate in the fighting, right? Not to take the bait of the narcissist, not to lower your frequency, go down to their level. That's not a good idea. You got everything you need. Page of Pentacles is here, Queen of Swords. You're freeing yourself, and you're also freeing yourself from this entanglement of the old system. The old system is trying to keep us in the old system. There's the Hierophant shows up a lot. There's the King of Pentacles, powerful. Yeah, there's the Eight of Swords and fear, guilt, shame, right? That's the big trigger. That's the big bait of the narcissistic old system. That's the dysfunctional, all the cards fly out. Dysfunctional old system. We don't want that anymore, right? That's just effed up. So, but every now and then, you know, if the shit hits the fan, right, you have to do something. You have to protest. You have to make your voice heard. You have to speak up, even if your voice is shaking. That's for sure. You're in the great position here with the King of Pentacles, the Hierophant, Queen of Swords. Very powerful energies here. You learned a lesson. You kind of won the fight internally, but in the outside world there's still a fight going on, obviously. And every now and then it gets us, right? You, me, we're not immune to this. But we have to be the bigger person in the sense that we take responsibility of our own frequency. That's the Hierophant energy, right? Queen of Swords energy, not firing up in the same frequency. What's that? The Six of Pentacles, Chariot, and the Ten of Cups, a happy home, joy, fortune after difficulty. You got something, stability here. You got a place to retreat to, whether it's your apartment, your family, your friends, right? A circle of friends, a circle of just a good place to be, right? Whether it's an emotional place, whether it's an actual place, right? Use that. Use that to stabilize yourself. Use that to calm down. Use that to bring yourself in a better frequency. Ace of Pentacles in the middle, and bottom of the deck, the Ace of Cups. So tough times, right? But two aces, right? Seems like you learn self-love the hard way. Could that be Dark Night of the Soul energy underneath that? But there's also the Four of Swords. So you probably went through some sort of Dark Night of the Soul, like many of us in the last few years. You learned it the hard way to meditate, to calm yourself down, to take charge of your own frequency, responsibility for your own emotions, for your own frequency. You learned self-love the hard way. I don't think there's another way. Right? Somebody said that to me, I didn't like it, but probably that's true, right? Is there a better way is there an actual way to learn self-love other than to disappointment, right? Because if you're not getting disappointed by primarily loving other people, looking for completion in the outside world, that needs to be disappointed to realize for ourselves that we can only complete ourselves by looking inwards, by loving ourselves. So let's just say we learned self-love the hard way, right? Through the Dark Night of the Soul, maybe. There's a great potential here for wealth, abundance, and prosperity. You're showing up as the Hierophant. You can communicate what you've learned, right? You can stabilize yourself. There's the Chariot, there's the Six of Pentacles. The universe is trying to give you something back. Very supportive energy. Where do you go from here? That's the question. To love, to self-respect, to your new journey, to your new role. Coming from the Hanged Man, okay, and the Ace of Cups with the Nine of Cups, the Ace of Pentacles with the Nine of Cups. Strength card at the bottom of the deck. Strength card is the key here, right? Every now and then, when you look into the world, when you go outside, there's conflict, there's turmoil, there is a raging narcissist or raging narcissism at all, trying to grab our frequency, grab our energy, steal our energy, lower our frequency, provocation, right? Being tempted, being triggered, being lured into violence, anger, rage, hatred. But that's how they want us. They want us in hatred. They want us in rage. They want us to become just as violent and as obnoxious as they are, right? But not taking the bait, not going down in frequency. Being not just a bigger person, you can speak up even if your voice is shaking, right? Even if you have a little sore throat like I, for kind of a while right now. But that's just how it is, right? Speak up even if your voice is shaking. Show up, voice your concerns, call out BS if there is BS to call out, and there's a lot of BS to call out nowadays outside in the world, right? By all means, show up, do that, vote, call out BS, speak up even if your voice is shaking. But do not go down to their level. Do not get angry in the sense that you know, anger can fuel you to speak up, to, you know, stomach the courage to speak up even if your voice is shaking, something like that. So anger is not necessarily a bad thing if it's cultivated to motivate you to speak up, to do something, to vote, to mobilize, to organize, to, you know, meet people you can join together and, you know, try to change something, right? That is a good thing. But if anger is just blind, then it leads to hatred. And they want you in hatred. They want you down there in frequency at their level. They want you to get violent. They want you to scream. They want you to lose your temper. They want you to lose your inner peace, right? But do not take their bait. That's very important. Free yourself from their influence. In that regard, you have to truly love yourself, be yourself a friend, protect your inner peace, even if you are, quote unquote, fighting. Don't fight physically, don't become violent, but by all means, state your truth, protect your inner peace, protect each other, go out there, make your voices heard, you know, tell people what you think, right? That's very important. Boundaries, there must be negative consequences. Discomfort, create discomfort if boundaries are overstepped in a non-violent but very powerful way. And in that regard, fighting can be not just non-violent, it can also be amoral, not unmoral, you know, not unmoralistic, but amoral without morality. You don't need to demonize the other side. You can just look at them and just say, okay, they're not very evolved human beings. They can't deal with their inner turmoil other than externalizing it, you know, and fighting it in the outside world. That's pitiful. That's not good, right? That's very destructive in the outside world, right? But don't go down to their level. Don't behave just the way they do. Don't become violent. Don't become hateful. That's where they want you. They provoke us. They provoke you. They provoke us because they want to catch our energy, right? Hijack our energy and lower it to their level. And that's where they can fight us, right? But do not do that. You can fight in a non-violent, very powerful way without using morality, without demonizing the other side. Just look at them in a functional way, right? Understand what they're doing, understand that their frequency is very low. You don't go down there in frequency. You don't go down to rage, fear, guilt, shame, anger, rage, hatred. That's not our frequency. Inner peace is the most powerful frequency. Think of Martin Luther King, think of Gandhi, think of Nelson Mandela. Many, many people did that, right? Audre Lorde comes to mind, right? Wherever the bird with no feet flew, she found trees with no limbs. Yeah. And we probably find each other, right? In community, makes us stronger. We're not fighting. We're freeing us. You know, the worst thing that we can do is to fight the old system on the same frequency that they are trying to bait us into. And that is violence, physical violence, rage, anger, hate, guilt, fear, shame, right? Hatred. That's their thing. That's their dark side game. We're not taking the bait. Queen of Swords here, Hierophant. There's the King of Pentacles as well. So you take care of your business, take care of your job, take care of your affairs. Don't forget that, right? In all that turmoil in the world right now. If you just, there's the King of Pentacles, there's the Hierophant, so you got something to share. Wisdom, self-love, reciprocity. Ace of Pentacles with the Nine of Cups, very beautiful energy. There's something to do, some potential to actualize. Do it joyfully. Show up for yourself, right? Take care of your own affairs. Don't lose sight of your own life. It's not just, you can't fight 24/7, even if the world is a mess right now. By all means, find good people, show up, build community, make your voice heard, speak up even if your voice is shaking. I said it again and again. But come back to yourself, rest within yourself, right? Do not fall into the Hangman energy. Don't be stunned by what is going on. Come back to yourself. Inner peace, protect your inner peace. There is the Ten of Pentacles, there's the Six of Pentacles, the Chariot. So the universe is bringing you support very quickly, right? Something that you have given is not overlooked, right? You have given a lot and you will receive a lot. There's the universe really trying to, make something even with what you've given, basically give something back to you. And you already got the Ten of Cups here. That's fortune after difficulty. As said, you learned how self-love the hard way through the dark night of the soul. Five of Pentacles energy. You're coming out of that with self-love. Self-love means to protect your inner peace, most and foremost. Loving yourself, respecting your boundaries. Don't give more than you can. Don't feel responsible for everything. Come back to the Ten of Cups, to your foundation here. Very stable foundation, very beautiful foundation. There's so much power and healing in peace, right? Just cultivating and enjoying inner peace, whether you're taking a bath, whether you're going for a swim, whether you are, whatever it is that you're doing, good walk in the park, meditation. If you're really tempted by the world into conflict, into hatred, into low frequencies, do breath work. I do that all the time. 1 in, 2 out, 5 seconds in, 10 seconds out. Very powerful. You can release all the negative BS, right? Do that for, if you've never done that, do that for 5 minutes. Should be comfortable, so you shouldn't get, you shouldn't feel dizzy when you're doing it, so, right? It should still be comfortable, but the last breath should be, you should really push it out, right? As long as it's still doable and comfortable overall for you without getting dizzy or anything. 5 seconds in, 10 seconds out, whatever it is for you. 3 seconds in, 6 seconds out, you get the idea. The out breath should be 2 times the in breath. And the last one, really push it out. And that you release so much negative energy, so much tension. And then after that, as long as you can do it, I do it for an hour sometimes, right? You know, yeah, that tells you something about the stress levels, right? But do it for 5 minutes if you've never done it. If you can do it for half an hour every day, that's powerful. And another half an hour for meditation, then you're cooking, right? Then you're really cultivating self-love, taking good care of yourself, being yourself a friend, not being harsh on yourself. You know, always think about, would I say this? Would I recommend that to a friend? You know, if I would witness someone behaving like myself right now, would I give that friend the advice to go easier on him or herself, right? Be yourself a friend. Give yourself the advice to be easier on yourself. You got something going here with the Ten of Cups here, happy home, joy, right? There's a good place, whether it's a peace of mind or an emotional state that you come back to through meditation, to breathwork. It gives you power, gives you healing, and grounds yourself, right? So you can take good care of that potential that is here in the center, smack in the center, Ace of Pentacles with the Nine of Cups, right? Do it joyfully. Don't make it work. Don't make it so serious. Just do it joyfully, right? And then not taking the bait of all that drama in the world, because all that drama wants to steal your energy. All that drama wants to divert your attention from what is really important. What is really important is that we build a new system. Try not to fight the old system. I mean, to some extent, we kind of have to if you're forced into it. But always make building the new system the priority. Never forget that building the new system is more important than fighting the old one, because the old system is going to collapse anyway. Sure, we want to do it faster, right? So we have to speak up, even if our voice is shaking, but building a new system, that's super important. Never forget that, and build a new system coming from a place of inner peace and joy and optimism and hope and creativity, and just knowledge that it's pretty much inevitable, if that's how you pronounce it, that it's just going to happen. There's no way around it. James Baldwin has a good quote for you. It took me many years of vomiting up all the filth I'd been taught about myself and half belief before I was able to walk the earth as though I had a right to be here. You have a right to be here, right? You are a child of the universe. You have a freaking right to be here. And that too shall pass. Whatever it is happening, and we all know what's happening in the outside world right now, this too shall pass. It will not last forever, right? And the darkness will not win. The light has the upper hand. We have all the momentum. The most important thing is that we let our light shine, that we nourish and protect our light, which is our inner peace and our focus on building and creating the new, and never get distracted from that. That's the most important thing. Never argue with a fool. They want you to argue, right? Because this is disempowering. If you're arguing with a fool, you're not going to win. You're not going to convince them. Some of these people are beyond repair. You don't need to tell them. You don't need to argue with them. They just want your energy. They want to lower your frequency. Anxiety, that's also Søren Kierkegaard, by the way. Anxiety is the dizziness of freedom. Well, that's powerful. Gateway. That's the Blue Angel Oracle deck, number 38, Gateway. Observe this image closely. It depicts a portal that leads up to golden steps of light, to an arc. Once you reach this point, you ascend further to an even higher realm of consciousness. This spiritual journey is occurring within you. Right now, you are ascending to higher planes of awareness, wisdom, and love. This is a significant point in your soul's evolution, a rare and major event. It is an initiation through which you are eternally blessed. There are cycles of great wisdom and love from this point on. So just trust in the process. Don't doubt the process, even if we might be tempted to, lower our frequency. As I said, don't do this. You're a believer. I'm a believer. We got this one step at a time. And there is this blessing, right? What is this? Yeah, peacock spirit. Let it shine, right? Meditation. There's a point in meditation when you can really open up. I don't know whether you know the chakra system, but if you Kundalini arrives here or there, or actually there, you begin to shine and you really feel that. So cultivate that through meditation and let it shine as peacock spirit. Let it shine in the sense that you use your inner peace, your stability, your groundedness, your trust, your hope, your positivity, your self-love. Clarified by the strengths card. Do not fight the lion. If a lady fights the lion loses. But if the lady tames the lion, right? Not fighting it. Taming your own inner urge to jump down into the mud with the pigs. Do not jump down into the mud with the pigs. You are rising, we are rising, we are lowering, raising our frequency, and we let it shine. We ground ourselves, we meditate, we do breath work, we go for long walks, we do this, we do that, we do fitness, whatever, right? Focus on that. And if you create something, do it. If you're working, for example, do it with a peace of mind. So I try to cultivate joy, and you're actualizing this great potential here. And I say it again, James Baldwin, right? It took me many years of vomiting up all the filth I'd been taught about myself and half believed before I was able to walk the earth as though I had a right to be here. I think many of us can subscribe to that, right? So never forget that. Keep vomiting up the filth, right? And never lose sight of where you want to be, or what you want to create. It's not about fighting the old. It's about creating the new system and trusting that it's just breaking through as we speak. And that's all I got. And if it resonates with you, share, like, subscribe, leave a comment, let me know what you think about it. That's all I got. Hope to see you next time. Now, but I am my friend. Ciao.